Yeah, never play a warrior without spick and gag order. It's amazing. Anyway, now they're far enough back, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave them here. These fire elementals have an additional ability. They sit there and spew fire all over the place. It looks really cool. And the first time I fought these guys, I was freaking out because I thought, I don't know, I thought the Rift Conjurer was doing it, and I was like trying to find it. I was like, where's the other Rift Conjurer? But it was pretty, anyway. You don't need to know all about that. But anyway, so you can stun the fire guys to prevent them from casting their ability. And other than that, not too bad. It's just your standard Wrathbringers. Now, there's no Berserkers in this part, so this part is actually a little bit easier. The packs are easier than the beginning, because those Berserkers are so nasty. Especially if you have melee DPS, they're really bad, but they're not here, so you'll be fine. So let's kill Wrathbringers and the fire guys. And we can move on to the next group. Now, after clearing that, now the sentry there is exposed, so I'm going to take her out before she can get to the next group. There we go. You can actually see the boss in the top right of your screen, but you can still have a couple pulls before we get to him. There's a bruiser pat. I suppose it's theoretically possible to skip this pat, but it would be so difficult that I wouldn't even try it. So I'm going to wait for him to come to about the middle and pull him back. There we go. Fighting a bruiser by himself is much smarter, but he's still very annoying. And with the bruiser down, you can move on. Now you can probably skip this pack on the right, but I'm going to kill it anyway, just to be safe, because this boss does have a knockback ability. So I figure to be safe, I'm going to clear this group out. But you've seen me kill enough of these guys, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this battle and move on to the boss. Now this boss has 4 abilities. The first 2 abilities are reflect shields. One is a melee reflect shield and one is a spell reflect. The melee reflect doesn't just add direct damage, it adds a stacking dot. So you definitely don't want to let that stacking dot get on you. But if you get 1 or 2 stacks, you'll be alright. It does stack up very quickly though, so you better stop attacking. The spell reflect shield is only a 20% chance to reflect, but still, that's enough that you don't want to like pyro yourself in the face. So don't do that. Okay, the third ability is a spike barrage. It knocks you back, which is why I'm tanking him against the wall, and that's why you can only see his feet here. I don't know if this is avoidable. I've tried it in the past, but it just made the fight unnecessarily chaotic. So I just take it. It doesn't do that much damage anyway. And the fourth ability is called Ground Slam. He just cast it right there. It's a conal AoE after cast time. You need to run behind him so it doesn't hit you, and the healer will thank you for it because it's a lot of damage. You don't want to take that Ground Slam. This reminds me of Anubarak in Old Kingdom. He does that similar ability, except it stuns you, and you just run behind him to not take it. If you're a melee DPS, don't be a moron and stand in front of him. Matter of fact, don't stand in front of him at all. Not just because of Ground Slam, but because of the spikes also. Seriously, just don't do it. Don't stand in front of him. And our DK here is not the most attentive player, and he is taking a lot of damage that he shouldn't be taking, both from the spikes, from the spike, or the melee reflect, I mean, and from the spike barrage and from the Ground Slam. So you're getting hit by a little bit of everything. And once the boss gets low, he goes into an enrage. While he's enraged, this Ground Slam is just ridiculous. Don't get hit by it. So I'm gonna dodge another Ground Slam, and now I'm just waiting for the melee shield to drop off. I do occasionally shield slam him even when the melee shield is up, just because the extra threat is worth it and the damage on 1 stack is pretty minimal. So there's the loot if that's of concern to you. This next room is lots of fun. I really enjoy this room. There's tons of AoE in here. There's actually 100 of these disciple guys, and I know that because there's a quest to kill 101 of them, and when you clear out this room you have 1 left. So after killing just a couple of these guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull these flares. And I know flares are pretty boring, But the DK is going to just stand there and get hit by it, and in a minute here, I think the healer is actually going to call the DK out on it, like call him an idiot or something, which is pretty funny. But I think it's on this fight. But anyway, so it's pretty trivial. Just kill these guys and deal with all the incoming adds. I just left this fight in because there are the extra adds coming in, as you can see. So you want to make sure you pick them up, or have a melee DPS pick them up. Yeah, there we go. There's the healer talking trash. But anyway, here comes some more adds. Just try to keep them off the healer. The adds are weak. They die easily, but they do, you know, fairly significant damage, especially in great numbers. And they will butcher your healer if you're not watching what you're doing. So make sure you pick them up. The next enemy you're going to need to pull is a bruiser pat, a big ogre guy. There he is back there. And I'm just going to be patient and let him get some distance, and I'm going to pull him way past the adds, because I want to minimize the amount of adds that are actually, you know, coming in to join this battle. So there's going to be a couple trickling in, like you saw right there. I mean, it's hard enough just to keep up with this guy leaping all over the place, then also have adds come into the picture. Now at a point here, I'm going to miss an ad. He's going to get on the healer, and the healer is going to say something about it, so I got to intervene over there. So just try to be attentive. Just try to keep your eye out. You can even try stacking on the healer, although he's probably going to be mad if he gets stomped. Yeah, there we go. There's the ad that got loose. I'm going to just pick him up real quick. There's a couple ways you can do that, but overall it's not, once you isolate these guys like this, they're not that bad. They're just, you know, kind of chaotic. It's when you get other adds in the picture that they become very difficult. Because of the stunning and the leaping around, it just makes you hard to control everything. So once you've killed the bruisers, you're done with with any elite mobs here in this instance. The rest of the mobs here are just the boss and this big pack. So here's some quality warrior AoE here. I'm gonna rend and then hit thunderclap to spread the rend around, and then hit a shockwave. And any opportunity to use warrior AoE is always a good opportunity in my book. Okay. I have to check my map to find my way around this place. Sometimes I can barely see where I'm going. My gamma's probably too low. So the next group here is three. These groups, they do not pull with the boss, so you can charge in fearlessly. Just don't tempt the boss. Don't get too close. I'm gonna add a heroic leap into my combo here. Why not? And they're done. Okay, time for the boss, and I'm explaining this to my group members as well. The boss is very interesting. There's actually a bug that's still on beta servers, and luckily it didn't happen to us here, but it has happened to me. It happened to me like yesterday when I was trying to do another run to practice. But whenever she'll do an ability called Force Grip, which is pretty much exactly what it is. It's a Darth Vader move, and it lifts you up in the air. And if it's bugged, it'll cause you to disconnect, and it does it every time. So basically, if she's bugged, you're done with the instance. You can't finish it because she just disconnects people with her Force Grip. It's pretty nasty. But if you get lucky and she's not bugged, then it won't disconnect you, and then you can just kill her. It's not a problem. So the Force Grip is also interruptible. Make sure you know, even if you're not getting disconnect bug, you still need to interrupt it because it is very annoying. And please, if you're playing a DPS and you see the tank get interrupted or get Force Grip, please interrupt it. Please interrupt it. I really wish my DPS would interrupt a little more efficiently. But anyway, let's go ahead and pull her. She's also going to be summoning adds constantly. I'm going to put a skull on her. You definitely want to put a mark on her because there's going to be tons of adds coming in, and they all look the same. They all have the same height. So it's actually really annoying when you're like, oh, where's the boss? She's in this huge pile of adds. So I'm actually going to set her to focus even after this because just putting a skull overhead is not enough. As you start beating her up, she drops these little void zones all over the place. They're not super powerful, but you know, they're a void zone, so obviously you need to get out of them. Okay, what she just did there is she took off flying, and she's going to start the ad phase, which means a whole bunch of ads are going to flood in. Now, there's always ads coming in, but they're usually trickling in. Now, there are just tons of them coming in. They come in 2 big groups at a time. You want to make sure you pick up at least one of those groups. I told the DK to please assist with picking up ads, so he is doing that, and doing a good job of it, so he's kind of redeeming himself. That's good. You can still attack the boss while she's floating up there, but she has a 75% damage reduction shield. So unless she's super low, I mean, unless you've got nothing else to do, you really shouldn't bother. Now these void zones, there's a neat trick. You can actually pull the ads through the void zones, and the void zones will kill them for you, which is totally awesome. It's just that on normal mode, they're weak enough that you don't necessarily need to do that. And the last thing that went on there, you might have seen, was that she's going to drop big rocks all over you during that phase, but they're easy to avoid, so just don't let the rocks hit you, please. So once she comes back down, you just keep beating her up. Make sure you keep the ads off the healer. It's very important. If you're playing a DPS, please assist the tank with protecting the healer. If you're a ranged DPS, I would just recommend just standing next to the healer at all times. And if you see the healer under attack, just throw up some spells. They only have like 10k health, so you can kill them really quickly. It is very chaotic for the tank, so any help you can give them would be nice. So once the boss takes off again, you get ready again for the same old thing. So it's a pretty simple cycle. Ground phase, DPS her, pick up ads, and avoid void zones. And during the air phase, avoid rocks, and pick up ads, pick up lots of ads. You saw there with Heroic Leap, it was a very efficient way to kill them. Here comes another rock. Oh, that was close, but no cigar. Another group of ads. The DK over there just picked up with a whole group by himself, so that was awesome. Go. I think that did it. So there's our loot. Pretty nice trinket, although I'm not going to need it, and another nice, whatever that is. Yeah, another nice trinket. So pretty nice stuff there, if that's something that you are interested in, the loot. And but I'm just going to roll disenchant on it because I don't need either of them. So this is a fun instance. I mean, the boss is a lot more involving. So hopefully this video should be more interesting to watch than the Vortex Pinnacle one, simply because there's more going on. In Vortex Pinnacle, you know, all the ads are the same. It's like, oh, this one does a typhoon. Oh, this one does a hurricane. But it's otherwise they're the same. Here, everything is a little different. The only thing that get boring are kind of the flares could get a little boring because you do fight them through the whole instance, but they do keep you guessing. Otherwise, with the stone giants, the bruisers, those are very interesting fights. I like this instance. This is like my 3rd or 4th time, I think 4th time playing through it. So you know, we kind of aced it. But on previous playthroughs, I've wiped quite a bit, not just because of the bugged boss, but because of other things, bad pulls. All kinds of stuff. And of course I'm not counting that wipe in the beginning, which is like almost a guaranteed wipe. But so anyway, that's it for Stonecore. So thanks for watching, please subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.